Alpha 4.0 has officially been delayed, and as I said earlier a few months ago, I can't say that I'm surprised. We also had some major bug fixes to the upcoming 3.24 patch. CIG finally released an update to the progress tracker, and Inside Star Citizen introduced us to one of many of Star Citizen's concept artists, Gavin Rothery. As 3.24 pushes hard for the finish line, many players are wondering if 4.0 will be delivered in a decent amount of time during Q4. If you love to discuss the game's future and enjoy seeing all of the great sim gear and peripherals on the market, smash that like button and consider supporting the channel by clicking the subscribe button so you can stay informed. Welcome back to Last Week in the Verse. On Monday, the PTU patch for 3.24 saw several key adjustments and bug fixes that were introduced, enhancing the overall gameplay experience. A notable change was the removal of 32 SCU containers as a cargo option from outposts. This obviously makes sense because they can't be sent up in the freight elevator at outposts anyway. So this would have just caused players to lose money and would have made for a nightmare on the live servers. On the gameplay side, the multi-tool tractor beam has been rebalanced to restrict its usage to cargo masses under 24 SCU, while the dedicated tractor beam now offers improved rotational control, allowing for more precise handling. This is an effort to give more players a reason to use the dedicated tractor beam for moving larger containers. The patch also addresses multiple bugs that were affecting the playability of the PTU. One major fix ensures that the unclaimed cargo awaiting transfer notification no longer persists after all cargo is loaded. Additionally, ongoing issues with docking arms not extending at stations, missing ATC at Crew L5, and absent medical elevator panels in personal hangars have all been resolved. Another significant fix corrected the cargo disappearance issue when moving it between the warehouse and elevator in freight management. Now, this patch also enabled testing for the Blockade Runner event, giving players a chance to experience this new gameplay content. Unfortunately, the event still does have its own issues, but they do appear to be working on them slowly. I hope that once this event does make its way into the PU, that we see better server performance overall than Xenothreat. On Tuesday, they released their second patch of the week, with the tractor beam tool seeing another significant improvement, with its rotational force being enhanced once again. This will continue to give players more precise control when using the tractor beam, which will make handling cargo containers much smoother and more intuitive. A range of bug fixes were also implemented in this patch. For cargo haulers, a critical issue where 32 SCU metal boxes couldn't be detached from the cargo grid was also resolved, which will hopefully ensure a better experience during the missions. Additionally, they resolved a problem with elevators despawning after a server crash recovery, which led to players falling through stations or landing zones. This should hopefully improve stability and safety when in transit, as we all know how often elevators try to unalive our characters. They also addressed some visual and mission-related glitches. The RL Grey Cat backpack now properly appears on players' backs when equipped, and placeholder labels on expired Zeta Prolinide containers in the Blockade Runner missions were also corrected. Other fixes include resolving issues with hostile AI behavior during boarding missions, and UI errors with freight elevators. On Wednesday's build, they implemented a bunch of new cargo hauling rentals that were added across all rental shops, enhancing your options for freight transport. Unfortunately, the Vulture wasn't included just yet. Now, a special highlight for this build was a critical fix for a long-standing issue at Lagrange points, where ships could collide with invisible asteroids, leading to unexpected explosions. Now, this bug has been ongoing for quite a while, so I'm really glad that they are finally able to resolve this issue. When we get our hands on the live build, we'll know for sure if it was fixed or not. They stated that they are confident that this patch should fully resolve the issue, which will finally make for a better overall experience. Now, hopefully this also resolves the issue where destroyed ships are no longer invisible as well. I think that during Xenothreat, that was one of my biggest causes of my ship suddenly being destroyed more times than I can remember. Several crucial bug fixes were also implemented to improve gameplay. One major fix addressed a problem where the external door of instance hangars wouldn't open properly when an exit was assigned. Additionally, the patch ensured that ships parked inside personal hangars are correctly stored when players exit the menu, preventing issues when rejoining different servers. These adjustments should make hangar management much smoother and more reliable. They also addressed several bugs that impacted cargo hauling missions that were fixed. Players should no longer be forced into accepting missions with cargo capacities beyond their ship's limit, which was previously blocking early freight ships from completing tasks. Also, the repair, rearm, and refuel services in hangars have been refined, and the Freight Manager kiosk will no longer get stuck during transactions. These fixes should greatly enhance the overall experience for cargo haulers and mission runners alike. In Thursday's PTU patch, several significant improvements were made to enhance gameplay and the overall experience. The patch primarily focused on resolving high entity count issues, which have been causing major performance problems. Players should now expect smoother gameplay, especially with the fixes addressing issues with the medical gurneys. Additionally, this update polished various aspects of the game, including the final rental hauling ships added to the cargo decks in New Babbage and Orison. Ground vehicles also received a crucial physics improvement, enhancing their movement and stability and their interaction with tractor beams. These changes should hopefully ensure that vehicles behave more consistently across different scenarios. I know that ground vehicles are definitely something that have been needing a lot of attention, and I hope that they continue to refine them and make them even more useful. Numerous bug fixes were also introduced, addressing issues like freight elevators at scrapyards, lacking cargo grids, and external vehicle storage being improperly removed. Other notable fixes include resolving problems with personal hangars showing incorrectly on the minimap, and the Drake Vulture's external ladder causing players to fall. The technical improvements in this build also targeted personal hangars leaking, which significantly reduced unnecessary entities in the persistent universe, leading to better performance overall. And their final patch on Friday had a significant focus placed on addressing persistent bugs. Among the most notable fixes were more improvements to the tractor beam, which previously had issues with its UI not updating correctly when targeting boxes. Additionally, several cargo hauling bugs were resolved, such as containers disappearing when placed next to the hangar pad, and reputation hits causing overflow errors that negatively impacted player standings. These fixes are crucial for the cargo hauling missions, as they directly improve a player's ability to progress to more advanced missions. Further refinements included resolving issues with the ASOP terminals, where players were previously unable to retrieve or deliver ships if another player occupied the same hangar instance. Inventory management also saw improvements with a bug fixed that caused items to drop to the floor when combining them. And several problems related to freight elevators, commodity kiosks, and mission cargo storage were addressed, streamlining operations and preventing frustrating gameplay interruptions. With these critical issues now resolved, I believe that we could see the patch be released to live servers by this Friday. This would be a significant step forward and potentially allow the developers to shift their focus quickly towards the release of 4.0 to at least Evocati, despite the recent delays, which we'll be discussing next. Starting off with the biggest and most disappointing news of all, 4.0 has been delayed until Q4. Shocking, I know. At this point, with how 3.23 had freight elevators, persistent hangars, and other features pushed back, and the fact that 3.24 was in testing for the better half of 2 months, with it being released June 25th, we all should have expected for 4.0 to be delayed, despite the claims to the contrary. This delay is extremely disappointing for me and has definitely not helped with my struggles with providing all of you the great content you want to see from me. I get that summers are extremely slow, and all of us are often sitting here waiting on the next CitizenCon for some hope. And this has been going on for the better half of 10 years. While CIG has gotten better over the last few years with communicating more accurate timelines, we're almost 12 months from CitizenCon, where they claimed that they were going to get many of the features released to us that they showed us at the event. As of now, we probably have about 35 to 40% of the features that they wanted to release within that 12-month window. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not abandoning the project by any means, but my hopes for this year have been reduced quite a bit. I was really hoping, like many of you, that this year was going to be the major year for the game, and I bought into a lot of the hype. And it still can be, if 4.0 is delivered before the year is over, as long as it's in good shape and delivered well before they go on their holiday break so they can fix any major issues. It will be imperative that we have the best experience possible with 4.0, while things go dark at CIG for the Christmas break. Now, last week they also released the updated progress tracker, and I have to say it's rather underwhelming. They made a ton of claims that this progress tracker would be an actual progress tracker that would begin to paint a picture for us on version 1.0, and it's anything but that. Truthfully, this progress tracker seems to be something that they wrote up and edited onto the existing progress tracker and slapped features like base building and crafting that we already knew about. It feels like an afterthought and just meant to try to sate our appetites until they can reveal their plans at CitizenCon to build more hype. But perhaps there's something going on internally that caused them to release what we have now. I know that they're working on updating a lot of things on the website, but I thought that there would be a lot more for us as backers. Let's be honest, they could have given us a way better update to the progress tracker, revealed some new things, and still blown us away at CitizenCon. But what are your thoughts? Are you upset with this update? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Inside Star Citizen last week brought the spotlight on Gavin Rothery, one of the many talented concept artists that is responsible for designing ships like the Gladius, which has arguably become the most iconic Star Citizen ship, even more so than the Hornet. He's also designed the Zeus Mark II, the Saber, Argo Raft, Mole, Kraken, Perseus, and tons more. It was really fascinating to not only see a lot of the new visuals of the Zeus, as well as some tiny sneak peeks of new locations, but also how Gavin approaches concepting new ships. It was also a really nice little bit of nostalgia for me personally. One of the key pieces that makes Star Citizen unique is being able to go from flying in space to landing on a planet, standing up from your seat, walking around your ship, and out onto the planet. And Gavin's hard work in his concept art definitely gives the rest of the developers a perfect start to create such an experience. As we wrap up, it's clear that last week has been packed with a series of important updates, particularly in the realm of gameplay improvements and bug fixes for 3.24. From the rebalancing of the multi-tool tractor beam to resolving critical issues with cargo management and hangar operations, these patches have significantly enhanced the gameplay experience. It's been exciting to see some of the long-standing bugs finally getting addressed, making gameplay smoother and more reliable, especially for those of us heavily invested in cargo hauling and mission running. However, it's impossible to ignore the disappointment surrounding the delay of 4.0. Despite somewhat improved communication from the developers, this setback has understandably dampened expectations for what many of us hoped would be a breakthrough year for the game. While it's frustrating to see the road ahead stretch even further, the hope remains that when 4.0 does arrive, it will be worth the wait, delivering a polished and stable experience that can sustain us through the quieter periods like the holiday break. On a brighter note, the recent Inside Star Citizen episode gave us a much-needed glimpse into the creative process behind some of our favorite ships, offering a reminder of what makes Star Citizen so unique. It's moments like these that keep some of the dreams still alive, even during the slower development periods. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on all things Star Citizen, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments what you think of the recent delay of Alpha 4.0 and the updated progress tracker, as I would love to hear your thoughts. If you want to join the channel and support the creation of these videos that help you stay connected and up to date on everything going on with Star Citizen, then consider becoming a member and get new updated loyalty badges, priority replies, and exclusive member-only channels in my Discord. And if you want more information on how I think CIG could make progression amazing in Star Citizen, then you'll want to check out this video. Fly safe, pilots, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a go.